Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 10 of Elenum Music Online. We are entering week 3, and by now, hopefully, things are feeling a little bit more routine, a little bit more comfortable with this whole online platform. I know they are for me. So here we go. Week 3, day 10, Elenum Music Online. So first things first, shout out today actually goes to my sister, Erica. She's not a student. She's probably never watched any of my videos before, but today is her birthday, so I had to do it. So happy birthday, Erica. Um, yeah, shout out to Erica. So today we're going to get into sectionals and office hours that are going to start moving around a little bit. Some of the biggest feedback I've gotten from you guys is it's hard to go to sectionals when it's always scheduled at the same time as math or whatever it might be. It's going to be impossible for there to never be conflicts, but I'm going to try and move mine around to hopefully at least let some of you come that may not have been able to yet. Remember that for me, sectionals and office hours are never required and they are never graded. These are opportunities for you to come and get some one-on-one feedback, to hear me play your part with you, and to maybe get some more detail work done on specific sections, on rhythms, on fingerings, things like that. So please come if you can, but they are never required and never graded. So for today, office hours are going to be first to help with avoiding these conflicts. So we're going to do office hours from 10:15 to 11. Then sectionals today are for orchestra. So we're going to go 11 o'clock violins, 11:20 violas, 11:40 cello and bass. So getting into actual classwork for today. You have by now hopefully completed your 16 measures of the transcription, meaning that you took your original and wrote all of the notes down without changing anything. Now we're going to start the hard part, which is the actual arrangement and creation of new parts. So at least for the next several assignments for our theory project, these are going to be 2-day assignments. You're going to have time to work on them, time to get feedback if you have questions before the next step. So today's assignment is going to be exploding music. Now, I've talked with you a little bit about this with my process for writing the Pops concert music. Exploding music means that you're taking music that was written for a limited number of parts and you're making it bigger. You're taking something that was written just for piano and you're exploding it into multiple parts. The opposite of that would be imploding music. If I gave you the score to Michael Jackson Hit Mix and it has 21 parts because it's written for a full band and orchestra, and you wrote it all for just one piano player, that would be imploding the music, taking multiple parts and making them few. We're doing the opposite, so we're exploding our music today from one part into two. Now, some of you have gone ahead and already done this, which means you probably don't have to worry about theory for today. But for those who are on track and have not gone ahead of what I've been doing, you're right on track with me. What we're doing now is we're taking your piano music and exploding it into your duet. So we're going to head over to the computer so you can see how that's going to work. This is going to take some time, so be patient with yourself and please ask if you have questions.
All right, so today we are starting our exploding of our piano parts into the duet. So on your part, you should by now have your title, your composer, and your piano part, which should be at least 16 measures that you have copied without changing. You've just transcribed it from the original version you found. Now, as you can see in mine, I have 20 measures, sorry. I went just a little bit further because I wanted my phrase to end, but your required number of measures is 16. I know some of you have done more than that, and that's totally fine, but the requirement is 16. Once you have that, the next step is to start creating your parts. So last time we added 2 parts. We didn't put anything into it. We just added the instruments. So if you haven't done that, make sure you go back to the most recent video and learn how to add those 2 parts. If you get stuck on that, let me know. Now that you have your 2 blank parts created, you have your piano score written, what we're going to be doing is deciding how to take that piano part and put it for these 2 instruments. This is going to be a lot of copy and paste today, and that's really all I want you to worry about. So for example, this opening section, there's only one part in my piano. The other part is resting, right? I'm going to have my flute player start with that. So if I highlight all of those measures, and I did that just by clicking the first measure, holding Shift and clicking the last measure, then I do Control C, and I click on my flute staff, again Shift, and click to highlight the whole line, then Control V, it copies it into that part. That's all you have to do today. I probably will change some of this because it's so low, but for now, that's where we're going to leave it. Just copy and paste. So I've got that done. I'm going to go to my next line, and now you can see there's two things happening at once. This is where the explosion happens. This is written for one piano player, but I am writing it for two instruments. So I'm going to take this part. It's similar to the first line that I had. Highlight that line, Control Copy, and I'm going to give that to my flute player. So again, just pasting it in. I'm not changing anything, just copy and paste. Now I haven't done this part. I haven't done the right hand of the piano, and I want that to be my trumpet. My trumpet's going to do the melody for this particular arrangement. So I'm going to highlight all of that, copy, highlight all of this, and paste. That's all there is to this one today. It's a lot of copy and paste. Now, let's say you don't like doing it by keyboard shortcuts. I do everything by keyboard shortcuts. But if you want to do it with your mouse, you highlight that whole section, shift and click, and then up here in this edit menu, again, if you can't find that edit menu, click your three lines, make sure you have a check mark there. In that edit menu, you'll see the copy option here. It's two little squares, like you're making a copy of that square. Click that, highlight the line you want it to go to, and then right next to that copy, you see a little clipboard. That's your paste option. Click that button and it'll paste it for you. So again, if I'm doing it with this hand, you select that line, copy button in the edit menu, select where you want it to go, paste button in that edit menu. Now, one thing to be aware of, I'm writing for trumpet, right? Trumpets are not capable of playing two notes at a time. So you're going to have to decide which one you want them to play. That might be a good time for you to actually hit play and listen to it and decide which one you prefer. You can guess, you can leave them there if you want to change it later, but just remember who you're writing for. If you're writing for a singer, if you're writing for a wind player, they cannot play more than one note at the same time. If you're writing for a string player, they might be able to. And if you're writing for a percussionist, they definitely can. So think about that when you're looking at your parts. Make sure you're not giving 3 and 4 note chords to a bassoon player because he's never going to be able to do it. So that's it for today. Once you have copied and pasted into your parts, you are officially done exploding. The next step will be to start the arrangement where we start changing things. You start maybe listening to it and seeing what you like and what you don't like. But that's what we're going to get into on Thursday. So for today, explode your piano part into 2 different instruments, play it, make sure you still like the way it sounds, and that's it. Next step comes on Thursday. Let me know if you have questions as you go through this. This can be confusing. Just stick to copy and paste for now.
Once you have finished your explosion of your music and you've created your 2 parts, you're done with the whole 16 measures, you've copied and pasted it. Again, like last time, send me the link to your arrangement. I don't need the original anymore. You sent it to me when you first created your 16 measures, so we're done with that. All I need is the link to your arrangement so I can just see how that's going. I can then answer questions and I can have access to it so I can help you guys with next steps. Once you have finished exploding your music, then, as always, we move back into practice mode. So goal for today is 15 to 30 minutes practicing any of your pops music that you want to, journaling as always. Now, we're 3 weeks into this concert cycle, so it's not all going to be brand new music anymore. You're not sight reading anymore. Now you have to start being really intentional with your journals. Set a goal. What do you hope to accomplish for this practice session? Regarding pops music, last week I put out a survey to see how each class individually was feeling about their music and whether they were feeling ready for new music, overwhelmed with what they had, and it's a very personal question, but I'm going based on the survey results for each individual class. So for this week, choir and orchestra and percussion, don't worry about getting new music. I want you to focus on what you have right now. 7th and 8th grade band classes, I'm going to start working on getting out Lady Gaga hit mix parts for you. So keep an eye out on that music download section. As I complete those parts, I'll start pushing those out to you. These are optional. There were a couple of you who said that you didn't want new music. You do not have to do it. But such a large number of people said that they were ready for it that I wanted to start giving that out. So, as said earlier, goals for today are exploding your music into 2 parts. Take your time. This is a 2-day project. It's not due until Thursday. And as always, there's no late assignments this quarter. So get to it when you can and then move on to the next step. Then practicing for 15 to 30 minutes on any pops music that you want to, as long as you set an intentional goal. Office hours are at 10:15 today. I'll see orchestra for sectionals at 11, and I'll talk to everyone later.